Hey guys, just got done watching HazMat from 2013. I watched this film off of Netflix, and it's directed and written by Lou Simon, and it stars Norbert Velez, Todd Bruno, Anelia McGuinness, Gordon Diaz, Torn Stedham, Gemma Calero, Reggie Peters, Daniela Levez, and Mario Nalny. I'm guessing that's how you say his name. Yeah, this is a interesting film because, to be honest with you, I I put it on because I thought, I'll watch something that I don't own for a change. And I've got to be honest, I want to buy this movie. It's not got the best acting. It's not even got the best production values, but I don't know why. But for the whole movie, I kept watching it thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. And it reminded me a bit of My Bloody Valentine. Not to do with any of the killings or the film, but with the way the killer was in the hazmat suit. And it kind of reminded me of it a bit. And I've got Marble Valentine's one of my favourite movies. And don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying it kind of reminded me of it a bit with the outfit. So let's get on with the story. So basically, it starts out with two girls screaming, running to a door, and they can't get out the door. And then comes a bloke. I'm guessing he's supposed to be the killer because he gets stabbed by one woman, and he shoots the woman, and she goes down, and he's like, "Are you scared?" With the gun like this. "Are you scared? Are you scared?" And she goes, "Yes." And he goes, "So you should be, because you're on Scary Antics." I think it's called Scary Antics. And she goes, "What?" And she goes, "I'm going to kill you," to her friend. And it's really badly acted. That bit is just like, oh my, terrible. And then he puts his arm around him, Tim, and he goes, "Wave to Scary Dave," and then you're like, oh dear, this is gonna be epically bad. But nope. Then you get basically Scary Dave, as he calls himself, talking about how there's this old building that had a chemical fire, and basically how he's gonna scare someone shitless again in it, basically. And then he introduces Ed, who's basically the guy who's not wearing the shirt he's supposed to be wearing, and he's supposed to let him out and all this other stuff. So then we get David talking to Adam, Carla, and Melanie. And basically, Adam says, oh, he wants to prank at Jacob because Jacob he has been a bit weird since his dad died, and he believes the place they're going to prank him in is haunted. And basically thinks pranking him is going to wake him up a bit because he's a bit weird. Now, I've never heard anyone being pranked for being weird and then being normal kind of thing, if you can call normal anyway. Because what's the definition of normal anyway? So then they talk to Carla, who goes on about how she doesn't like Jacob because he's always with Adam. Because he's always with Adam. Oh, bless me. Because he's always with Adam, and basically she wants to scare him crapless. And basically, then you get Melanie going on about how cool it is that they're going to prank him, but she's there. And it turns out she's there because she wants to be famous. She wants to have her 15 minutes span be noticed by movie directors and producers, and you're like, yeah, okay. So basically, you're like, this Adam guy is not very much of a friend, is he? He wants to prank a guy who's got problems. Right? So they get everything ready, and then shows the day, the setup, the time, like a reality show, which I kind of like that. That was only in it like a couple of minutes, like it wasn't through the whole thing, but it was good. And so they pull up, and you see Jacob. He's got tattoos down both arms, and he just looks like your average guy who's a little bit of a freak, basically. And when I say freak, I don't mean because he's got tattoos on. I mean because he's going on all nutty and all this about the place. Now, the reason I say he was a bit freaky, the reason I say was freaky wasn't freaky. I mean, wasn't freaky and wasn't weird. Was because to me he just seemed like an average guy. He just seemed to have a weird interest in the building because of what happened in it, and that's the only reason I could see him as freaky. You know, So I was a bit like, this guy's not that weird. He's not weird at all, you know. Unless your definition of weird's a guy with tattoos who runs about a lot and is excited about a building. I don't find that weird. So anyway, he so happens to have these light things, but he picks out his car for them all to walk with into the building, which I thought was actually quite funny because I was like, how convenient. There's no lights in the building where they're supposed to be in, but there's an office where the production guys are. And the guys there are David, Brenda, Gary, Tim, and Stephen. And they're in there, and basically Adam, Carla, Melanie, and Jacob, they're walking through, and all of a sudden Jacob goes, this is the office. This is the only original room that was here originally. We need to get inside. So he's banging up against it, and that's where they are, the production team. So they're like, oh no. So Adam and that try and convince him to go off somewhere else. So they don't. Adam and Jacob split up from Carla and Melanie, and end up in this room. And Adam goes to him, you never told me what happened to your dad. And Jacob basically says to him, oh, I never really knew, and all this stuff. And he goes on about how his dad saw someone get possessed in there, and basically his skin came off. But when he was dead and they examined him, his skin was intact. And you're like, okay, so where's this going? Where's this movie going? Is the person going to get possessed and kill people? What's going on? So basically, you hear that and you kind of think, this is interesting. Very low budget, but interesting. So a little bit later on, Adam splits up from Jacob and he pretends to be dead in a corner light with blood on him. And Carla and Melanie, they scream, and basically Jacob's freaking out. He's all like, freaking out. And he runs and he stops in the hallway, and Tim in the HazMat outfit, which funny enough, Jacob finds a HazMat suit but not a mask earlier on, and he puts it on for some weird reason. I'm guessing because it reminded me of his dad. And he's leaning up against the wall. Tim goes up by and touches him, and he swings and puts the axe right into Tim's stomach. And everybody's like, oh no, we need to tell him what's going on. Alright? Poor Jacob, he's just scared he accidentally killed someone. Alright? Nope. He goes and sees Adam, and Adam goes because he doesn't know it's him because he's got the HazMat mask on. He goes, are we done yet? And he just hits him right in the body, and he finishes him off while the production crew are watching. While Carla and Melanie have no idea what's going on. They walk along and they're walking and walking and walking, and the production team are like, oh no, what's going to happen? So basically through the movie you have them trying to get out, which is quite claustrophobic really, because they're trying to get out and they can't, because he's running after them like a crazy man. They try and get out by calling Ed on the walkie-talkie, and he comes in. And basically, Jacob gets him, and there's this great scene on the camera where he's digging the axe into his arm, which it looks like he cut off. And you see the axe actually bend a little. I like that. There's also another bit where the girls are running, and he gets Carla right in the back of the head and pulls it out. I really, really like this movie. So they're running away, and they all eventually end up in the room. Melanie and the guys and Brenda. So they're in the room and they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? So David, Scary Dave, decides to run off and go to the back door. He then drops the map, and Stephen behind him gets it in the back of the head, and David runs. And then he gets away. There's this great scene where Jacob in HazMat looks through this glass bit of the door and goes, it's so creepy. I thought that was really well done. And so what does David do? Scary Dave? He decides to put the camera on, which had the light on, put the light on really bright, and talk to and say how much he loves Brenda, and about how he didn't want to be on another show because he didn't want to lose her, because he wanted him all to himself. So the killer doesn't notice the light at all, even though it has a big flicker, like boom. And he goes running, and he's like, guys, I found the back door. I'm here. I'll come back for you. And just as he goes to go out the door, he gets pulled back in, and they're like, what's happened? And I'm telling you, it's a basketball with like a mask on of a head, because when it was thrown, it was bouncing all over the place, and a head won't bounce like that. And then you see Jacob lean down and go with the mask on. It was just so creepy and well done. I really enjoyed HazMat. So then there's three of them left, and they try and run in the room, and he gets in there, Jacob, and he gets Gary right in the eye, and the effects there's really good. For a low budget movie, it was really well done. So then you have Brenda and Melanie left, and they're running, and basically Melanie has this CGI kind of hand and all that cut off, and Brenda's running, and then right at the end, this is spoiler, he's lifting her up, and she moves his mask, and his skin's gone. It's really badly done, but his skin's gone. He's got these his skin's gone off his face. It's not great makeup effect, but it's there. So I'm thinking at the end, you're supposed to think the whole time he didn't go crazy, but he was possessed. So one knows, when did he get possessed? Was it before he killed Tim, when he was freaking out? Or was it halfway through? Because I didn't think he got possessed at the beginning. I believe it's probably when he accidentally killed Tim and then put the mask on and things changed. I will say this though, there's a scene where Melanie and Carla find Tim dead on the floor, all bloody. And they go, ah ha ha, you got us, you guys were basically, pranking them. And Carla goes down, I think it's Carla, I think she goes down and checks the body. There's all that blood on the floor, big cut, everything. And she goes, I think he's dead. I think he had a heart attack or something. And you're like, what? Oh, you're like, someone got an accident stomach and you think they had a heart attack. You gotta love cheap movies. This low budget movie is probably one of the best I've seen in a very long time. It reminds me a lot of The Den. What I mean by that is I didn't expect so much from it, but I love them both. I bought HazMat 5 seconds after I finished watching the film. So I must have really liked it, if you know what I'm saying. I just can't believe it. I'm probably going to get it and then watch it again. So my final thoughts on it is a lot of the acting in it isn't that great. It's not the best acting. I like the acting from Todd Bruno, who played David, and Nilia McGinnis, who played Brenda, and I like Norbert Villas as Jacob. But to be honest with you, he's only really doing the acting at the beginning, because who knows who was in the soap, if you know what I mean. So I liked him, and the guy who played Adam, Reggie Peters, he wasn't too bad. But the rest of them were on and off, hit and miss. But when you watch a slasher film, you don't really care about the acting as long as the deaths are done properly. If I'd have gone by the beginning of the film with the prank at the beginning with the people, I'd have been like, and not bothered. But the rest of it moves pretty well. It moves fairly well. The acting's not too bad. It's hit and miss with a lot of them, but the main ones are pretty good. The direction's really good. I like the creepiness. There were some really good creepy scenes in it as well. It reminded me of 80s slasher movies, the cheap ones, where you sit there going, well, this is bad, but I really like it. So it reminded me of all them. So I think I'm going to give it a 4. I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I highly liked it, but I do believe it could have been better in some places. Obviously the makeup and certain situations. But at the same time, I hate when this does this. But at the same time, the special effects were really good for a low budget movie. Lou Simon has also done a couple of other movies. The Awakened and something else. Well, I can't think of. Let me just have a quick check. The Awakened and there we go. Sorry about that. The Awakened and Agoraphobia and Blackout, but only directed HazMat, The Awakening and Agoraphobia. After watching this film, I'm going to definitely check those other two out, because I highly liked it. You know, it had a lot of negative feedback from what I read up on it, which surprised me, because I think it's a real good movie. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, check out the movie. Let me know what you think of it, if you've seen it or not, or if you're going to buy it, let me know after. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and thanks for watching.